This is how you harvest amaranth seeds. When it gets to a certain level of amaranth ripeness, don't laugh. When it gets to a certain level of amaranthosity, you can go like this. You kind of work your hands over it and release the seeds. The seeds just fall out. Now, if you roll the blooms between your hands and no seeds fall out, that means either it's way too late or it's too early. Right now, the seeds just easily fall out in a rain of little amaranth seeds. Amaranth is one of those plants that just sheds seeds all over the place. So I know that I'm going to have tons of them in the grocery row gardens next year, which is fine. I basically grew this variety because it's beautiful and because I wanted to save seeds from it. I had one little packet and they got scattered around the gardens and they did well. So now we have lots and lots of seeds for next year that we can scatter around. And next year I can start eating them in earnest because we have the variety, it's established. We can cook the leaves, use them like spinach. If you don't have a daughter to help you do this, the way I would do it if I was just by myself, which would be very, very sad, or if I had a bunch of these to do and we really needed to save a lot of seed, like if we were going to eat it for a grain, which we might do eventually. Again, I have done it. It tastes okay. But if I was going to do this in a simple way as just one person, instead of having somebody hold the bowl for me, I would hold this bowl with some sort of straps. I had an old trash can lid, which I read somewhere online. Trash can lid's a good way to save amaranth seeds. And if you can hang it in front of you like this, then your hands are free and you can work the seeds out like this when it's just hanging in front of you. And of course, you can go like this too. But it's much easier to work the seed head and work the seeds out of it when you have two hands. To try and do it like this is kind of a pain. It's really easy if you have a strap holding it on the front and then you can just pull the heads down and quickly work the grain out of it. It's very fast. But we don't have a lot to do and some of them are not mature yet, so out of the couple, 18 or so that we have, it makes sense just to get help from my daughter and have her hold the bowl, or I hold the bowl and she works the seeds out of them. And the bugs. And the leaves. Now that you've harvested the heads, you'll see there's a lot of these little flower pieces in here. The black are the seeds, and they're gorgeous. But you've got to separate the seeds from the flower petals that fall. So what I do is you just have it in the bowl like this, and just gently blow across the top. You can separate some out like that. You're still getting a few seeds in there, but throw them over the garden beds. And shake it around again. Just blow across them. You could probably do this through a fan too, but once you do it a few times, pretty easy. The seeds are heavier than the blooms. The blooms catch the air. You can just keep spreading them out. And it really depends on how much you mind a few petals in your seeds, because it doesn't matter that much. Obviously the petals are not going to germinate, but you don't have to get them perfectly clean, but if you're neurotic about it, you can. Now, these seeds are still slightly damp, and they have some petals in them that are slightly damp. So you want to just take these seeds now and spread them out on a cake tin or whatever, and leave them in your house in the AC for a couple of weeks to just dry out slowly. You don't want to leave them in a damp area. You want to put them someplace where it's going to get dry. If you have a dehydrator, you could put them in your dehydrator at the lowest setting for a couple of hours, and that would do it too. You don't want them going over, 95 degrees or something, but a couple of hours is fine to take it out. Now I'm blowing more seeds than petals. But when the petals dry out, if you do this again after leaving it out for a couple of weeks, they'll blow away from the seeds even easier. But this is enough seeds to plant an acre of amaranth, and it's just from a few seed heads. That's how easy it is to save amaranth seed. And I highly recommend it as a crop. It is a grain and it is a green. But there are varieties that are better for each. You'll find varieties of amaranth with great big leaves on them, and then you'll find them with great big seed heads, and then some are kind of in between. These have good greens and good seeds. I grew a golden variety that great big seed heads. They come in all different colors. The greens are always good as a cooked green, and in a pinch, you know, they are a staple grain if you want to work hard. That's a few calories that we have here right now, but it would take time. It's more of a probably a hard scrabble existence living off of amaranth grain, but you could definitely do it. If you had a good sized bed of it, you could get a few quarts of seeds, and when we roasted them before, we just fried them into cakes, and it was good. It's a nice flavor, but it was a lot of effort for what we got. I prefer root crops as staples most of the time, but for a green, it's very hard to beat, and just for beauty in the garden, again, it's like one of the prettiest things. You just have to have some of these in your garden, just because they're awesome. And if you're interested in getting the seeds, my daughter is going to put some of these seeds up in her Etsy store, so if you want to get some of these beautiful purple top amaranth, we will put these actual seeds up, and I will put a link below this video so you can get them if you're interested for your garden. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you all being here, and we were just going out and harvesting seeds anyways, and I said to my wife, hey, would you grab the camera? Let's make a video. And that's what we did. So be sure to like and subscribe, plant yourself some amaranth, and until next time, may your thumbs always be green. It's incredible. You're super artistic. Mm-hmm. That's gonna sell so many amaranths. Hi, everybody! Can you hear me over the cicadas? It looks like something's growing on your hand. It's supposed to look pretty.
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't look. Stop. Stop a second. Yeah, we're not doing that shot.
No.
Ew.
What's on her hand? Kind of weird fungi.
I get strong on plant-based foods. Oh, are we filming?